We are going to rewind the clock a little bit and talk about the research that is coming out of the university, how we bring that to market, and how we collaborate with companies to get that research into the hands of consumers in a way that benefits not only society and learners in our society, but creates jobs and exports for Ireland. So this is about the commercialization journey. I'm going to start really quickly and talk about what it is that we mean when we're talking about commercialization of research. And it's really the process of taking an idea to a place where we can sell it in the public marketplace. And what we're actually selling when we say selling ideas is called intellectual property. You may know this or you may have heard about it, but intellectual property is anything that's created by the mind. So this takes the form in our world of designs, copyrights, patents, database rights, know-how and expertise, as well as literary artistic works, and also the symbols, images, names, logos, trademarks that are used in commerce. So all of these things are intellectual property that is commercialized and turned into marketable products, right? So in Learnovate, and Linda took us through the stages of our research processes, but at each one of these processes, we are creating intellectual property that can be used for the benefit of our member companies and licensed out or turned into businesses of their own right. So she took us through our stage one processes, where these are our thinking stage, as we call it. As she said, we're doing desk research, we're doing literary reviews, we're doing state of the market reports, state of the art reports. We're doing a lot of customer interviews, things like this. What the outputs of those take the form of knowledge and expertise, often through a research report. And then again, once we've done that thinking, we identify gaps in the marketplace, places where there are problems that don't yet have efficient solutions to them. And that's where we move into the stage two, where we're actually working on that, validating those problems, creating those solutions, designing those. And we're ending up, with processes and methodologies here in designs. Those are, actual outputs that we have for our stage two research project. Sometimes, and not always, we'll take it into the stage three phase, where we're actually building out software and building out demonstrators of our technology. So we will come out with IP around those actual software components, subsystems, actual solution implementations, and then the consequent evaluation reports and data that's generated by those. So all of these are forms of intellectual property, and these are the outputs of our research that can be commercialized through, and again, this is a fairly elaborate diagram here on this slide, but effectively all of this intellectual property can be brought to market to benefit our member companies, or in the case of some of them, we can create new companies out of this that can then go and bring these products to market on these. So effectively, there are two ways of getting these research outputs into market, and one is through licensing, and this is where the university creates an agreement with a member organization to give that organization the right to use that IP in its business activities to make money out of it. And the university will get some kind of compensation for that license agreement. Sometimes that's an upfront fee, sometimes that's based on royalties. It's really to benefit the companies and make sure that the IP gets into the hands of companies that can actually use it to go out and make an impact in the marketplace. So that's a really important part of our membership, is collaborating with us on the research projects and then bringing that IP out to market. Now, sometimes there's not a specific product owner ready to take on that IP and turn it into an actual product, but there are member companies that want to use those research outputs. People collaborate with us a lot. They want to use that technology in some way, but they don't necessarily want to be the software product owner. In that case, we have the ability to create a spin-out company. And this is really when the university, Learnovate, creates a startup company for that purpose of bringing the IP to market. In exchange, the university usually takes an equity stake in that, and that company has a license with the IP and that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that spin-out journey, because this is a pretty interesting process, and we use the funding mechanism from Enterprise Ireland called commercialization funding, and this goes to one of our academic members to commercialize the research. And we have a whole series of processes and tools that we use to help academics and researchers create a business around their research outputs. We use tools like the value proposition canvas, we use the jobs to be done frameworks, and there are supports all along the way around us through TCD, places like Dogpatch Labs, the Science Foundation, all run these great support programs. And we take them, and once we've got to a certain stage, we do a commercial case feasibility study, which is a little bit different than the feasibility study that Linda mentioned, which is for established companies who want to innovate in the marketplace. This is for researchers who want to test and see whether that research output has a market that's attractive for it. So this is a €15,000 grant from Enterprise Ireland, and it allows us to hire a business consultant to go out, talk to customers, and find the market, find the most attractive market, and then set us forth into the next stage, which is actually building that commercial plan and getting commercialization funding from Enterprise Ireland to build that product. So we can get a commercialization fund project going for it's usually about a 12 to 24 month project. We usually get around 350,000 in funding, and that allows us to build a product that is ready for market out of the research that we've done or that we have. So what I want to say is that Trinity has the supports all along the way, including at the end, which is in the investor pitches and the funding opportunities and creating that startup company. And this is a process that we've done a number of times. And we're going to talk later with a recent example. Joe from Alpaca is here, and Cormac Noonan is another startup company. So these are groups that have gone through this process. And so I encourage you, if you are aware of research that you want to use in your business and you don't necessarily want to be the product owner, we can talk about exploring a commercialization fund with you as the potential validating marketplace on that.